What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking another trip down the toy aisle, and today we're going to be talking about WWE Battle Pack Series 4. We're still in 2010, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and take a trip down the toy aisle. Alright, so the first 2-pack in Series 4 is none other than the Hart Dynasty. This is first time in the lines for both of these guys. They're coming later in the Elite line. We'll get to them eventually. But this is David Hart Smith and Tyson Kidd. Now, David Hart Smith, I know he had this figure and an Elite. And I think that might be it. Maybe one more basic, but I'm pretty sure it's just those two. Tyson Kidd, Tyson had a few basics over the years. He had that really good Hart Dynasty Elite. And then he had the really good Elite and like Series 40 something from his time with Cesaro, and that was a really good figure. Still holds up to this day. But as far as capturing them in 2010, this nails it right here. You got the pink and the black gear, except this pink is kind of like a off pink color. It's a little weird. It's kind of like that that salmon color that the Bret Hart came with in the 2-pack with Goldberg. That's about what it looks like. I had to see these figures in person to say 100%, but that's about what it looks like. Now, of course, their gear is fairly generic. It has Smith and Kidd on the front of their gear. Pretty basic. Let's see, even though it's going to be blurry, we got the maple leaf with some designs here, and then that's pretty much it for David Hart Smith. But Tyson Kidd, we got the maple leaf, I'm assuming on both sides. Got flames going down the back of the kick pads. And wow, these are pretty generic. But we have seen the singlet body for some of these guys, or for some of the figures in the line so far. So of course, those Tyson Kidd lowers are reused. Same with David Hart Smith. The only thing they had to do here new was the head scans, of course. But these are pretty good. But knowing how the Elites are, like maybe half a year or maybe a full year afterwards, definitely. And it's not like everybody was clamoring for these guys in 2010 either. So you could definitely like wait until the better releases come out. But it's fine for what they are. It is nice to see a tag team instead of just like a rivalry or just two random guys thrown together, which we see later down in the line. This is a solid 2-pack though. Of course, like I said, two first time in the lines is always a good thing when you're getting into a 2-pack. So let's see who else is in the line. And we got Christian and Tommy Dreamer. Now, we have already talked about a Christian so far. He had an Elite figure in that WrestleMania gear. But let's talk about Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer has never had a Mattel figure except for this one 15 years ago. It holds up. It has the ECW logo. It also has the Scratch WWE logo on the chest. The head scan is all right. It's all we have except a Jax one, and those are like big. Those are really big. But it looks fine. The Christian's fairly generic. We're not going to touch on him because it's the same head scan as the Elite, and if you can get the Elite, why not get the Elite? You know what I mean? Then for the Tommy Dreamer, he does have, we'll scroll down here, he does have the flames going down the side. Like I said, a fairly generic figure. But for those ECW fans out there, this is your only chance of getting a Tommy Dreamer from Mattel, unless you want an oversized Jax one. But it does hold up. Now, in nowadays, Tommy Dreamer is a little heavier than he was in 2010. It happens to everybody. But this still looks really good. Nowadays, you could just take this head, you could take some simple lowers, honestly, and get a cloth shirt and throw it on there, and then like, it's hard to complain about that. It's really good. So I think this figure does hold up. I have an Elite custom of this somewhere in my collection. I need to enhance it, I guess you could say. I need to fix it up, make it even better. But this is a solid buy. Once again, a first time in the line. That's 3 so far in this set. So let's go ahead and see who is the third and final set in, well, the set. And you know what? This is a pretty fitting time. On the day that this is being recorded, it is St. Patrick's Day. I got my green hat, got my green shirt, and our buddy Hornswoggle is joining us here. We did not see this torso for Hornswoggle ever again from Mattel, I believe. Yeah, I don't think we ever saw this again. We've seen this head. We've seen this hat. And we've obviously seen the lowers. They're elite style lowers because they never went through the trouble of making basic lowers for Hornswoggle. Every single figure of his has elite lowers. So that is pretty freaking awesome. But then we have another first time in the line, Chavo Guerrero. And man, oh man, this is actually pretty cool. Now, of course, at the time, we didn't know we were getting a Chavo Guerrero in the elite set. I think it's a couple sets away, honestly. But this is pretty cool. I remember watching them go back and forth on TV when I was younger, and it was definitely pretty funny. And I do like this. This is really good. This is actually, I think, the one Hornswoggle Mattel figure that I do not have with the white shirt. I don't even remember seeing this. I remember the green one like we see back there. I remember the WLC match, the DX one. There's so many that like we've gotten, believe it or not, from Hornswoggle. And I don't recall ever seeing the plain white shirt. I know we got that from Jax. And it has like the little thing around the neck. That's really cool. And the fact that they posed him in the package where he's like kind of chasing him, I think that's pretty funny as well. But WWE Battle Pack Series 4 definitely is pretty interesting. 4 out of the 6 figures are first time in the line with the Hart Dynasty, Tommy Dreamer, and Chavo Guerrero. Then, as we see later, Tyson Kidd and David Hart Smith don't have many other releases. Tommy Dreamer is never seen again in the Mattel line. I think pretty much because he's been working with TNA the whole entire time after that. And then Chavo Guerrero, he has an elite, and I think that's just the only 2 figures that he has ever gotten. So this is once again another solid set in Battle Pack Series 4. I definitely want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know what you would have picked up in 2010, and then let me know what you would pick up now if you were going back filling in some gaps in your collection. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want Tommy Dreamer. But that is going to be it for today's trip down the toy aisle. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, take it easy.